Well, good evening, everyone. We're just so excited to have you join us tonight. We have something really special tonight. We have some special guests, and we're just honored and privileged to hear from them tonight and to hear their story and what all they have to share with us. And I want to give you a little bit of their background. Their names are Johnny and Angie Viebrock, and they live in Smithville, Missouri, with their two sons, Larson and Lincoln. And Johnny is a full-time ag teacher, and he was just sharing about he sounds like he's got a lot of giftings and skills. And Angie teaches middle school choir as well as speech and drama. And together they are really passionate about living a healthy lifestyle, helping others, and sharing the love of Jesus. That's beautiful. I love that, guys. And we're just thrilled to have you here tonight. It's definitely a busy time of the year, so we thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to share with us tonight. So go ahead and the time is yours.
All right. Well, bear with us here. Hopefully this works like it's supposed to. All right, we got the screen up. Yeah, there we're going.
There you go.
All right. Well, we don't know exactly what folks' experience is with LifeVantage. If you know a lot about it, or if you don't know very much about it at all, we're going to kind of give you a rundown here of kind of how we got involved with LifeVantage, how it really came to us at a time in our lives when we needed it. And then as we've moved forward, it really has helped us continue to help other people. And it doesn't help every person or every group of people the same. Everybody's pain is just a little bit different. But we have really come to believe that LifeVantage is a company that has health and wellness products that will help you become healthy. And if you choose to do the business side of things, it could help you to become wealthy. So hopefully, if you have questions, you'll put those out. We always like to start our opportunity calls or talks with folks like asking, "Are you healthy? Are you as healthy as you would like to be?" Um, and most folks usually tell us no. There's probably something about their health, and they're private that they're probably not as healthy as they'd like to be. But hopefully, at the end of the our talk, maybe we can answer some questions and help you find your path to health and wellness.
So if we would ask you a question that if you knew something that would profoundly affect your life, or my life for the better, would you share it with me? And we both hope that you would say absolutely yes. And so that's kind of where Johnny and I have come from, is that we know of something that will help us health and wealth wise. And so we have chosen to share it with other people to make lives better. So why LifeVantage for us? We're going to tell a little bit about our story. This is our why right here, our two boys. And we have two sons, Larson and Lincoln, and we have a small acreage. And it kind of that motto kind of goes back to 2009. Our son Larson was really sick. It's kind of a long story. We were in Atlanta, Georgia. And at that time, we prayed that if God let our son live, that we would spend our life helping others. And his life was spared. And now he's a whopping, I don't know, 6'3", 17-year-old with all the attitudes that go along with a 17-year-old. So
He tests his parents on a daily basis.
So fast forward to about 2015, 16, our Amish friend Harvey found out that Johnny was diagnosed with diabetes and started sharing LifeVantage with us. And we said no for a really, really long time until about 2001, right after COVID and things were starting to open up. Harvey said that if we're going to invite you to this meeting, and we said, well, it was on a Saturday, it was in Kansas City. We were not going to come. We had already said no a couple times. He had brought in Toby Detweiler and some people up in LifeVantage, and we kept just saying no. And then we'd said, okay, Harvey, we'll come on Saturday to this meeting if it's raining, because we have a produce stand. People come to our protest Saturdays is the busy day, but they don't come when it's raining. So we said if it's raining, we will definitely be there. And lo and behold, it rained Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So Saturday morning we showed up at the meeting. And as we were some of the newcomers at the meeting in Kansas City, people were introducing themselves, and this beautiful lady came through and shook her hands and talked to Harvey. And as she went through the row, Johnny turned to me and said, "Did you see her skin?" And I said, "Yeah, she looks gorgeous." And Harvey starts laughing and says, "Well, do you know how old she is?" And we were like, "I don't know, late 50s, early 60s." And he started laughing, and it was Jackie Shepherd. So just 4 years ago. And so I said, I want to be like her. And so he laughed even harder. And so that was where I was hook, line, and sinker. And so I started using the products. And then about 8 weeks later, Johnny's, another ag teacher, I call it his work wife, died of COVID. And I looked at Johnny that day and said, "I don't want you to die. We're doing LifeVantage and we're jumping in whole hog." So it was another way for us to help others to promote eating healthy, living healthy, and being healthy.
And I'll be 100%. One of the reasons we never jumped in, we had both in the past done network marketing, and usually when we had done it was to get the products or items out of it. So Pampered Chef, Avon. Years ago, I did prepaid legal service and prepaid phone cards. It's funny to think that you had to buy a prepaid phone card to make telephone card, but we had done several of these things and we agreed we were not going to do this one. When Harvey talked to us, we're just not going to do LifeVantage. We're not going to do a health and wellness company for certain. What if the product we're selling is going to turn people's hair green or does something crazy, And little did we know that once we agreed that we wanted to be healthier, that we did have a product that was amazing. It's so amazing that it's almost hard to believe. And so we started reluctantly. We learned more about the company. We got to know more about the products. And I'm kind of, my background, I don't consider myself to be a scientist by any means, but I do like to study science. And I really got into digging down into the products. And I spent a lot of time reading the research studies. I understood research papers, and I started realizing exactly what we have a hold of here with this, not just with this company, but with the science. The whole idea of activating your body to do what it's supposed to be. And I don't want to put you off, but I believe God doesn't make mistakes, and He created the human body. And for the most part, the human body does a pretty good job. It's all the other things, the antagonists, if you will, in our environment and our food and just everything that slows our bodies down. And we age and then we don't feel good. And so anytime we could do something to make our bodies feel better, made sense to me. And as I learned about the products, I thought, golly, we're on to something here. And so we really just dove in, and folks say, well, gosh, why aren't you guys way up in the company? And to be honest with you, this isn't our second job. It's not our third job. It's not even our fifth or fourth job. It's like our fifth job. We want it to be in the future. We're both close to retirement, and so we want to have it built up. It's just we only have so many hours in the week, and so we put forth a little bit of time, one night a week, to try to promote the company and promote the products and to help others. The thing that probably got us hooked the most, and I understand that the first gentleman that Harvey brought to us didn't have a computer, and he didn't talk about the ABC prime time. He was an Amish man. He drew on the back of a napkin and sounded good, but again, we just weren't that interested. And we waited about a year and a half, and Harvey came back to us. This time he brought an English person along that had a computer. And again, I laugh about it now, but before they got to the house, they pulled in the driveway, and I told my wife, we're not signing up. We're not signing up. I don't care what they tell us. We're not signing up. And we watched the video. And after the video, I was like, I knew enough about ABC primetime. I knew enough about John Quijones that they were really out there to debunk myths. And so they go and they check this out. And we're not going to show the video this evening, but if you really watch the video, you realize that we're onto something. And then so at the time I Googled John Quinones to see, and I found some reports that he was still taking the Protandim, and he basically said that there would not be a day in his life in the future that he would not take the Protandim. He believed in it that much, that the proof was in the pudding. And so when I started looking at that, I was like, oh, okay, I'm a little interested, I'm a little intrigued. And again, it wasn't until I was faced with my own diabetes that I thought, okay, I've got to do something. I was not satisfied with the prescription of the treatment. And then the more I read and learned about oxidative stress and antioxidants and how your body can be activated to produce these things, and it's not necessarily oxidative stress isn't the killer necessarily, but it definitely exacerbates these other diseases. And every time I went to the doctor, they were, oh, you got high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and your heart's hurting, and you got diabetes. And I thought, I'm not going to give up that easy. And so we got into the company and started taking the products, and we saw some amazing things. Sometimes I tell people that when you start taking Nerf 2, the flagship product, you might say, oh, I'm going to take it for my back. I got a real bad back. I need some help in my back. And then you'll figure out that, well, it really wasn't your back at all. It might have been your knee or your ankle that was causing the problem. And now you've reduced the inflammation with the Nerf 2, and all of a sudden your knee's not hurting and your back's not hurting. And so for us, I always tell people that the Nerf 2 heals what ails you. And you may not know what ails you at the time, but what it does to your body is really, again, it activates it to do what it was supposed to do when you were 20.
So when LifeVantage started, it was originally sold in CVS and traditional drugstores, and it was doing not very well. And then when the primetime video came out, it went all crazy, and they couldn't make enough product. And then it was struggling again, and in 2009 it switched to direct sales. And now it is currently traded on the publicly traded on the NASDAQ, and it has fantastic leadership and has about $20 million in the reserve. So it's a really healthy company as well. So it is an activation company which helps you and triggers your body to flip the switch and to have your body heal itself. And the product that in the John Quinones video is Protandim Nerf 2. And it has, I believe it's 28 peer-reviewed studies on PubMed. We can show you that in just a minute. And it has, at the time it had 7 patents that the slide came out. I believe it's up to 9 now. And it is clinically proven to reduce your oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days.
All natural ingredients. And the gentleman the scientist that spent the time working with it found that the right combination of these ingredients together got the desired effect, and that was to activate your body to do what it was supposed to do. Prior to today, how many of you had heard the term oxidative stress? Okay. Yeah. Be honest with you, we had not heard the term oxidative stress before we attended the LifeVantage meeting. And then what we found was oxidative stress is basically leads to aging. And in a healthy body, you have cells that are oxidizing nutrients, and it's creating stress against your body. When your body is young, your cells are young, and everything's working like it's supposed to, you overcome that. But as you age, your body's natural ability to fight oxidative stress starts to drop and go down. And then you start to see an increase in free radicals in the body. And as your body's ability to fight free radicals starts to drop, then we start to supplement. We try to do things to kind of get it back. But nothing works as well as our Protandim at activating. Sorry, we had a telephone call from our son. Nothing that you can do activates your body quite like our NF. Sorry.
Fine.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Our Nerf 2 product. You think about antioxidants, you may have heard about sodium oxide dismutase or catalase or glutathione. These are naturally occurring antioxidants in the body that fight off free radicals. And our Nerf 2, the flagship product, is really it. Even though it's been around for now, we're going on. Let's see, 2009 is 2025. We're 14 years. We are still uncovering the power of the little yellow pill, of what it can do in the body. And as we've added some other products, in the company that help in activating, we're finding, and the studies are coming out, that the Nerf 2 is really the catalyst. And the other items that we have are allowing your body to really get a healthy edge, or if you will, kind of, help me out, what's the right word here? Not just a healthy edge, but you're getting ahead.
Yeah.
And helping your body to really be able to fight off the aging. You've heard the statement. It's one of the things that we can say, clinically proven to reduce oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. And that is in all mammals. That was probably another thing that really got my interest as an animal scientist, and having horses and cattle, and knowing that a lot of times your nutrition is the key. Most people that raise livestock don't throw medicine after a problem. We know that a healthy animal is a happy animal, and if they're nutritionally where they're supposed to be with a balanced diet, they have the ability to fight off lots of viruses, bacterial infections. They just do better. And so when I learned about what the Nerf 2 was doing for horses, especially in Florida and Ocala, high performance horses that are on the track or showing and running, they were seeing some tremendous benefit in horses. And then I started looking at pets. And the thing I know about animals is they don't lie. They can't fib to you. They're either going to show you that the product they're taking is working or it's not working. And at dogs and horses, it works. And so again, that was probably the thing that sealed the deal for me.
So the Nerf 2 activates your body to also produce the antioxidants. And in one pill, it's 1 to 1 million per second, where it would take 400 oranges a day or 500 cups of broccoli, 100 cups of blueberries, or 120 vitamin C pills to equal that. So yes, you can get it from eating, but not near at the phenomenal amount of just taking one Nerf 2.
And I think the part that people just don't understand, and it's maybe mind-boggling, is you can take a supplement and you're adding it to your body and you're digesting it. You don't fully digest it. You don't fully absorb it before it goes through your digestive system. Here with our product, it's activating every cell in your body to start producing the antioxidants to fight off the free radicals. And once you got every cell doing what it's supposed to do, again, you have a formidable force to fight off oxidative stress.
So here, just another slide that it supports your natural cellular repair and rejuvenation. And in the one study by the National Institute of Aging, it increased the lifespan by 7% in mice. And the ingredients are here below: turmeric, milk thistle, green tea extract, bacopa, and ashwagandha.
And if you study or do anything, listen to some of these items by themselves, these are all recommended supplements, if you will, to take. People say turmeric and its natural properties for reducing inflammation, green tea, milk thistle extract, bacopa, ashwagandha to help with moods and your body's ability to think clearly. People say, why don't I just go buy these other items and take them? And what Dr. Joe McCord found was that it was the right ratios of these together really allowed the body to just excel at producing these antioxidants.
There are several peer-reviewed studies and to show it, and you can actually look. So the PubMed is the National Library of Medicine site. It is what doctors use to find information. And we just put in Protandim right into the search study, and there are 28 results for those studies, so anybody can go read them. They are not all done by our company. They're done by the other people. Once they found out what was happening, started doing the studies. So the National Institute of Health, the American Heart Association, they're all here that you can check out on your own.
One other thing, I've spent a lot of time on this PubMed. I go there to look at everything. And I encourage you to go here and look and spend some time. I just want to point out here, look at 1960, relatively oxidative stress is relatively unheard of. I put oxidative stress in here, and if you see right about, it showed me the date, 2001. So in 2001, there's only about 3,089 mentions of oxidative stress. So we're talking about something that we know about it, we've identified it, but just not a lot of studies on it. We jump up to 2000, I lost it again. Anyways, you get over here and you look at this publications date. We're talking about 30,000 or 38,199 pages, or excuse me, not pages, but written papers that are talking about oxidative stress. And we're really starting to find the link between oxidative stress in the body's biology, how the body works, what oxidative stress does to, for instance, as it's attacking the body and breaking things down in the body, what that does. You think about it. I'll just use in the cell, the mitochondria is breaking down your food and it's utilizing the fuel, but some of it doesn't utilize. Where does that go? Well, it needs to be excreted from the body, but sometimes if it doesn't excrete fast enough, then you can have some secondary reactions or unintended consequences. And I'll use tomatoes. Tomatoes are a prime example. For some people, if their body pH is off or they eat a tomato, they can burn their lips. They have terrible upset stomach. They just cannot eat a regular tomato that's high acid. And so when we looked at oxidative stress, it's really what it's doing to your health. We've come a long ways, and we're learning a lot more. And we're learning that oxidative stress has got a link to every major disease. So if we could take a pill that reduces oxidative stress, we could help when it comes to dealing with all these different diseases. All right. So,
Ready?
Yep. And close this back.
Washington State University has even said that Nerf2 could be the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. So that is pretty amazing. That is the product that is our flagship product.
The old adage, if an ounce of prevention's worth a pound of cure. And again, going back to looking at animals, looking at people, if our diet is healthy and we're getting the nutrients that we need, we can prevent a lot of diseases. And being able to do preventative medicine as opposed to reactive medicine makes a tremendous difference. And that was something we wanted to be part of.
So we have, our company has 4 activators. The Nerf2 is the flagship, and we recommend that we think everyone needs to take the Nerf2. They came out with a GLP-1 activator a year ago, and it is called Mind and Body. To kind of go back, the GLP-1 is a hormone that we naturally make. And as we age, just like a lot of the other systems, it stops working. And so this hormone, the GLP-1, when it stopped being produced by your body, then your brain does not get the signal that you're full. So that's purpose of it is to tell you that you're full, and in how to it influences the amount of sugar that you have and use as you digest. And so it's a critical player in your appetite and your weight management. And so LifeVantage came up with this GLP-1 activator called Mind and Body. And why do they come imbalanced? It's the food we eat, not getting enough sleep and exercise. Just as we age, the lack of movement and just our body slowing down in producing and doing what it's supposed to do as we age naturally. And this I think is a really cool figure, that we have obesity at the top of it, and then it leads to all these different dysfunctions in our bodies, minerals and vitamin deficiencies, increased muscle activity, unhealthy diet, inflammation, all the things in there, which leads to oxidative stress, and then which leads to all those other things, insulin resistance, infertility, asthma, cancer, diabetes. And so if we can help so that we don't have the obesity in some way, and activate that GLP-1 activator, then it again in turn makes us healthier. So it quiets our food noise, bursts cravings, boosts our metabolism, and it turns on your own GLP-1 hormone. It is not synthetic. There's no needles. There's no side effects, and it is it's affordable.
And from a personal experience, for me, the difference is that I can put in a synthetic form of a GLP-1 in my body, and my body will respond. But as soon as I stop doing that, I basically told my body, "Hey, you didn't need to be producing GLP-1 anymore. You're supplementing it." And if I stop, my body goes haywire, and any gains that I've made, you just lose ground, and you go back to where you were before. All you did is you put a Band-Aid on the problem. You didn't really look at the source. And the thing I really like about the mind and body was that it was LifeVantage's way of helping people tack that GLP-1 that we know is affecting literally millions of folks in a healthy form to get their body to start producing it again, activate the body to do what it did before, activating your body's ability to produce the GLP-1 so that you can quiet the food noise and you can be a healthier version of yourself.
And I have a few before and after photos. This was a lady with 3 weeks. They also promote that not only you take this product, but you have to make healthy choices as well. If you continue eating McDonald's every meal, it's probably not going to work that great for you. But this is just in 3 weeks here. He stuck to his lifestyle. But again, you can see the difference just after a few weeks. Again, on both of these ladies as well. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that the future is bright for folks, but to be honest with you, our food, again, we have a lot of food that has empty nutrients, high calorie, high fat. It tastes good, but it's not good for us. And until we can change some of those things about our behaviors, if we've taken 20 years to develop a behavior, it's hard to change overnight. And as we get into a sedentary lifestyle, having the opportunity to just give us that activation to quiet that food noise, quiet cravings, give us the opportunity to have a full gut. So then make good choices about what you eat, portion size, calorie intake. You'll see that we can start to reduce obesity, and then we can start to we're reducing oxidative stress, then we're reducing some of our risks.
The third activator that we have at LifeVantage is our liquid collagen, and I love this product. Absolutely. Collagen, again, as you age, we stop producing it like we should. So, by the time you're 30, it slows down. It's about 10% every 10 years. And so the collagen makes up 25 to 35% of our body. And it's not, we always think skin, hair, nails, but it is the connective tissue of everything in your body and your skin. And your skin is your largest organ, and we have to take care of it. Like I said, it's not just nail, hair, and skin, but it's also cushioning joints, overall tissue repair, eyes, flexibility, mood and health, and brain. There's a lot of things going on with the collagen in your brain.
Tremendous. It affects all connective tissue. So everything that attaches your muscles, your tendons, to your bones, your skeletal structure, and then your heart. The collagen is awesome. And there's tons of research out there about collagen. I just like to say, if you've tasted other collagens and you haven't tasted ours, you are missing out, because a lot of collagen, honestly, tastes like poop. And to get yourself to drink that every day, you're like, oh, our collagen is, maybe I'm not supposed to say poop, but our collagen is a fruity flavor. It is easily consumed. We take ours in the morning. And I've noticed a ton of different things with my wife's skin. Just last night again, and I'm not trying to be weird, but you just touch your skin and feel it. And it's the foundation, the subdural part of her skin, the lower epidermis. is just built back up. It's full. She doesn't have the wrinkles. It's soft. She doesn't use a lot of lotion. I mean, it's tremendous. And then you look at the like athletes that are taking a huge diet of collagen. Ours is a liquid collagen. And again, I always in our presentations, I always go that our collagen arms you, right? So it activates your body's ability to produce collagen. It replenishes the collagen that you've lost, and it helps you maintain it. And what really makes our liquid collagen, I think, the best on the market, it is a little bit more expensive, but you utilize about 90% of it. Most collagens you don't utilize because the particle size is too big. And the way our collagen has been made, and it's in a form of a liquid, you can easily absorb it into your body and you can utilize it. Whereas some of these collagens that you take and you mix up in a shake, think of this, think of a window screen. And if I took the screen and I poured the collagen through it, a lot of those particles are going to get caught by the screen. I'm only being able to absorb a small amount. It's simply because the particles are just too large. And our liquid collagen has been nanonized the way they in the processing so that it's a particle size that's smaller, that it makes it bioavailable to you. And again, I think it's flavor wise, it's awesome taste. And you think it's going to be a bad aftertaste, and it's not.
So the activate part of our collagen is red ruby quinoa extract. And it helps our body's ability to absorb collagen and then activates our natural body, or our body, to naturally produce our own collagen again. And it helps reduce the fine lines and wrinkles. The replenish part it's a fish-based collagen, and it's the peptized. So it has 10 different types. Most other collagens on the market may have 5, may have 3, may have 6, but ours has 10. So you are getting more, you're getting 90% utilization, but you're also getting that many more different types of peptides. And so those provide the amino acids to help the collagen density, the skin elasticity, and then the moisture. And I will say, I had eczema always growing up. And even in the winter, I'd get so dry, I would use baby oil because it was so dry and it was itchy. But since I've been on the collagen, I have not had, since it came out is when I started taking it, right, about 4 years ago, 3.5. And I don't use any lotion anymore. It's amazing. So the maintain part is to help you maintain that quality collagen in your body. And so that is the berry and citrus fruit extracts. And so there is a list there on your screen, but it helps you maintain what you have so you don't lose it. And that's what gives it, I believe, the good flavor. It is kind of a berry, fruity flavor. What's not in it? There's no artificial sweeteners. It's dairy free. It's non-GMO, no sugar, no soy. So it is a great product to put in your body.
And liquid again. I've talked about this, so I'm not going to stay here too much. But just the fact that it's a liquid makes it readily absorbable. It tastes great. You're not mixing it up. Although we mix up stuff every morning, we mix up some things, and we take our collagen every morning. I don't know a single person that 45 and older that doesn't need collagen. Everybody needs collagen. All the scientists tell you that. If you look at anybody that's talking about skincare, healthcare, connective tissue, bones, muscle loss, joints, they all say the same thing, that you should be putting some type of collagen in your diet. And they say, okay, everybody eat more fish. Well, that's easier said than done if you lived on the coast, but here in Midwest, we don't have any oceanfront property, so our ability to eat fresh seafood is narrower, and this gives us the opportunity to be able to absorb these key components that are the building blocks of our health.
I have a few pictures. I'm going to go through here's some faces after the collagen. The first one is 6 weeks later. Day 1 and 10 of her face, and in the neck, that is amazing. I think people forget about how their neck looks as we age. And there's more face, and the tummy. For myself, I wouldn't have thought to take photos of my stomach, but that's amazing. And then the legs. The lady that is in this legs with the creping, she would not wear shorts. And now after her collagen, she's wearing shorts again. And I think that's phenomenal. So that since the skin is the largest body, we see it on the outside a lot with the collagen. But if it's doing that to our outside, I cannot imagine what's happening on the inside. I think it's fantastic. Okay, so our next activator was just purchased by LifeVantage. It's was produced by and purchased this company called Love Biome, and they have Phytopower 1 and 2, which we're calling the P84, and it is for gut health. And I am super excited about this. We've been on it for a while, but it is the new one. We're going to talk a little bit about it. Okay, so you have to take it to make it. That goes with all of our activators. So you take it, and when you take the P84, it helps make your gut peptides. And so if it can make your own peptides, it'll help in all of your digestion, get better utilization of your foods, and your body will act and feel better. They talk a lot about your gut brain access, not only with the GLP-1s, but now with this Phytopower 1 and 2 to connect it with your brain to help you think about whether you're hungry, whether you're not hungry, and what you need. So your gut now can make its own peptides with this product, because if you think about how long your digestive tract is, it is 30 feet, which that's crazy to think that it's that long. So what the P84 does is it regulates, repairs, and restores. So they call it P84 because it has 84 different ingredients. It comes in 2 little powders, and it regulates. So it is it activates master peptides that control your digestion, nutrient absorption, immunity, barrier function, hormone function, and then it communicates within the gut. Go ahead.
The repair side of things, and I could read off these, but I'm not going to read off so much of it. I want you to understand that as your gut becomes unhealthy, as the gut biome is starting to struggle, the foods we eat, we don't get enough diversity in our food. We get a lot of processed foods, and our gut bacteria, especially our hind gut or our large intestine, starts to suffer. The small intestine, things that are good for us, a lot of times just can't get through there. And we've been told for years, eat from the rainbow. We've been told about, make sure you get your microgreens or get your greens in there. And if you ate these certain types of food, you would be healthier. Well, the problem is that it's hard, number one, for someone to go to the store and be able to source all these different foods. And you don't need a lot of them. You just need a little bit of them. And so when the P84 came out, I was pretty excited, and I dove into the research, and I actually found the scientist who helped develop the P84, and he is a biologist, a fermentation biologist who studies bacteria and really studies how bacteria breaks foods down and allows it to absorb. And he was fascinating. I've listened to 2 or 3 of his blogs. I've read all of his research. Even though he is a fermentation biologist that studies bacteria, he's done a lot of work in agriculture, especially with dairies and hog confinement operations, trying to deal with the waste. And again, the idea is if you have healthy animals, then they don't need as much food. Plus, if you're looking at the downstream side of things, if you can repair an animal to be healthy, there's going to be a great response. So the repair, the activate, restore, by keeping your gut calm, by helping get your gut to have the natural diversity in the bacteria that it needs, it really creates an environment that helps restore your gut balance. I've been telling folks, we've just had this for just a couple of weeks. We went to Dallas and was able to get access to it. I believe all of our products are amazing, but you want to see a difference. I think the P84 is so dramatic. It makes such a change. You're going to know immediately. In fact, we have been telling all of our folks, if you're a person that's been on greens, or you're somebody that does microgreens, or you cut up wheatgrass and you've got a regimen to get these phytophenols into your body, plant-based nutrients in your body, that's great. But I think none of those processes is as slick, as smooth, and convenient as our P84. Two packets. They keep them separated for a reason. Cut them off, mix them up, shake them in a shaker bottle. My wife and I actually we mix ours in a shaker bottle and then we split it. She gets half and I get half. And we did that for a reason. And after we did it just because we thought, well, convenience. We bought one bag. We'll see how we like it. I'm gonna tell you, you will notice a difference immediately. And I'm not trying to gross you out, but let's be real. If your gut is working like it's supposed to, you're going to naturally produce some methane. You're going to have natural, what I'll call healthy BMs. And the company probably don't tell us to talk about this that much, but I'm telling you, this P84 is a game changer. You have somebody that's suffering from a variety of ailments. They got upset stomach, they got acid reflux, they got heartburn, they got low utilization of nutrients. They don't feel full. They just eat and eat and eat. And then they don't have natural BMs. They go multiple days without having a BM. This product is going to get you regular, and it's going to get you up to speed. And then as you look at it and you start thinking, oh, maybe I don't eat enough of the right foods. Well, you're getting a little bit of all the right foods and it's getting your healthy gut. And I promise you get a healthy biome in your gut and your entire health outlook is going to change. And then the other products that we have that are what I call cutting edge products put together with these, you marry them up. You talk about having a true edge, cutting edge, healthy edge against maintaining your health. I just can't say enough about the P84. It's activating the gut pathway. And you learn this I know you've heard this, the key to a man's heart is through his stomach. The key to health is through your stomach, period.
These are the uptakes from the findings from the study they did, how it is, and we're not going to read every one, but how they just take over and have increased by the GRP is up over 1,000%. That's just amazing of everything that's done and the increase of peptides and activating your body to work like it should.
In a nutshell, the P84 is getting all the food you eat goes in your small intestine. A lot of time it breaks down and goes in your large intestine, but the key to health is in the large intestine. And if you can build that biome, you're going to get better utilization of the nutrients you're putting in. You have better digestion. You have better overall health. You're not fighting leaky gut. You're not fighting some of these other issues that's going to help bring you into balance. And you're going to feel, I promise you're going to feel completely different. And in 24 hours, you're going to know something's happening. You may not know what's happening, but you're going to know that it's being activated. And then over a few days, you're going to notice, wow, why wasn't I doing this before?
And you just feel better. So what LifeVantage has done is it's putting this whole healthy edge together. So you have an offense and the defense. So the Nerf 2 Pro Tandem is your defense. It's as all this oxidative stress is coming in, it's kicking it out. And so then your offense is your healthy gut with the Phyto Power 1 and 2. Okay, so not only does LifeVantage have great ways to make you physically healthier, it can also give you an opportunity to be financially healthy as well. And there's two different kinds of way to earn money. It's the linear, which we've most of us know all the time. We work 40, 50, 60 hours a week for a paycheck. And then there's leverage income where you can put 2 to 5 years of hard work in, and then it works to make money for you later.
And I think that the key, honestly, there's not a thing wrong with linear income. You go to work, you get paid, you put in an honest day's labor, you get an honest day's wage, you can live fine. The issue is when it comes later on. So what if you get to where you can't work? What if you're unable to work the 40 or 50 hours of work that you did in the past? Maybe you just don't want to work that hard. If you can find a steady second stream of income or hustle away, we've done everything. When I say that, we got a produce stand, we raised pumpkins, we got a carriage business, I drive Uber. My wife does voice lessons, guitar lessons. We've done all kinds of extra jobs because I don't care who you are. At least the people, the circles of folks that I've met. I haven't met Elon Musk, so he may not have this problem, but there's always too much month at the end of the money. And then you get a bill for something you weren't expected. A tire blows out, or you get a medical bill, or your son backs into someone else's car, and so you have to pay for that, or your horse dies, and it's one thing to own a horse. Now you got to figure out how to bury it and dispose of it. There's always the need for extra money. And the people that I think have been the most successful has figured out how to make either their money work for them or they found another way to make some passive income. And for us, LifeVantage has been that passive income. It not only allows us to help folks with their health, it has allowed us to be able to help folks who need a different type of help. And that is maybe they're struggling to figure out where their money's coming from. Maybe it's helped us be able to donate money to the food pantry or to help sponsor a meal or to be able to help a lady that needed insulin. You know, our situation is different. We have 2 full-time jobs. We didn't really need something else, but we needed something that was fulfilling. And LifeVantage is fulfilled to us because it gives us the opportunity to do those things to help other people. And a lot of times it is financial. I just can't say enough about that. I think, not to get political, but in the current stream of things, our food has went up in cost. Our medicine has went up in cost. Fuel maybe has stayed the same, but depending on if you're driving, I know the tires have went up. I just went and bought batteries for our truck. They've went up. Everything has went up. And unfortunately, I don't think my paycheck went up at all this year. It has stayed relatively flat. And our health insurance went up. And I'm not complaining. I think we are super blessed. But we live in a community where there are lots of other people who are not as blessed as we are. And so we want to share, and LifeVantage has given us that opportunity to be able to share with others.
So one great thing about LifeVantage is that if you follow the system, it's very simple. You are not shipping product there. You don't carry any inventory. You don't invoice anybody. You have your own a website is what you're given. And health and wellness industry is a $500 billion industry. Just look at the skincare, $121 billion industry. And pets and energy. It's actually just mind-boggling if you look at it. This is the 2024 disclosure statement from LifeVantage. And I know they said in 2009 with the first recession that if someone had $500 extra a month, it could have saved them from losing their house. And if you can look even just at look at Senior Consultant 3, an extra $781 is can change someone's life. Who couldn't use another $781 a month, which is amazing. And I can't even imagine looking at some of the bottoms. If you look at the bottom of the disclosure statement, how much some people are making per month.
I'm going to be honest here, and if he was here, he would know I'd say this. So our direct upline is Harvey, and Harvey jokes that his computer operates on kerosene. He doesn't have a computer. And as we got to be closer friends with Harvey and doing some things with him, and we finally agreed to get into this business, my wife has kind of become Harvey's computer guru person. So she helped him set up an email so he can communicate with the company, helps him order things on Amazon. And really, we have become close enough that we had access to Harvey's back office and we could see what he was making. And I'm not going to lie, Harvey was a hardworking guy too. He worked at produce auction. They had about 3 acres in production, 2 hoop houses. He was building mini barns. And then we see what he was making. And I sometimes kick myself in the rear and I'm like, Harvey, why didn't you push us just a little harder to get to making money? What it has done for his family, not only for his personal health, but for his family. He's able to spend more time at home. I think his injury really was a kick in the head, no pun intended, if you know his injury, that really woke up and said, life is not infinite. we have a certain number of days on here. You've got your birth date and you've got your death date, and that dash in the middle is your life. And you need to make the most of that dash. And for him, he was working all the time. He didn't get to see his kids. LifeVantage was that key for him. He's been able to step away. He stepped away from the mini barns. They stepped away from growing as much. He just made the announcement that he's stepping away from the order buyer at the produce auction because he's replaced all of his income from his other jobs through LifeVantage, and it's his full-time job. And he gets to travel quite a bit to go to places. He gets to spend time with his wife. He's getting to spend time with his grandkids. And for him, you just can't put a dollar value on it. He talks about it all the time. Yeah, we make money on LifeVantage, but he said it's the things that you can't put a dollar amount on. Like we just went to Dallas. We rode together. We spent, I don't know, 7 or 8 hours in the car down there and 7 to 8 hours back, just getting to know one another, that family, that camaraderie. That's another tangible benefit that's not a dollar in your pocket, but it sure makes a difference, and it's worth a whole lot more than money.
This slide's a little bit outdated, but you get paid weekly and monthly. And as you work your way up, there is the a global where they share the revenue, and other prizes and pools along the way. But your the person who invited you tonight can explain a lot of that as we go.
I'll be honest with you. I think the pay schedule is a little bit confusing. You have to probably have a degree in finance to figure it out. What you really need to know is that you get paid for promoting the products and telling people about the business. I recently read a book. I bought it off Amazon. You wouldn't like it. It has to do with the history of the disciples of Christ. I read the book and I wrote several papers on it. I have yet to receive a check. And I've shared it with 8 other classmates. They all read the same book. They're not getting paid either. But if I take time to sit down and tell somebody about LifeVantage and spend an hour with them, tell them about the product, find out about them, build a relationship with them, find out where their pain is, how's their health, we've got a product that will help them. There's no doubt in my mind. Now, will everybody bite? No, because folks are resistant to change. But the opportunity to be healthy, I promise you, on your last day, on your deathbed, you would give any amount of money to have one more day to spend with loved ones, to spend with family. You wouldn't even think twice. So if you could, at today, make a change in your life and say, hey, I'm going to try to make investment in being healthy. Lord knows I've made an investment in being unhealthy, eating things and drinking things and doing things that I shouldn't have done that put me at risk. I'm going to make a commitment to do something to make an investment in health. Wouldn't you do that? Wouldn't you do that? Additionally, I don't think you should ever depend on a single income. I'm sure that you have insurance. We have insurance. I mean, when we went through that, we got married and they said, well, you better get insurance on your wife in case she passes away. And then they're like, well, Angie, you better get insurance on your husband in case he passes away, because you just can't make it on a single income. And we all know somebody who has struggled. So I encourage you to think about making an investment of your time so that you could create a second source of income, whatever that may be. I hope you think, oh man, this LifeVantage thing would be worthwhile. But really, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Kind of spread them out just a freckle. You know, Steve Jobs, rest his soul, he said every now and then a product comes along that changes everything. One is fortunate if you get to work on just one of these during your career. I'm going to tell you, since we've been with LifeVantage, we've had 3 products that have come to the marketplace that are fundamentally changing people's health. And for us, I tell people this all the time. It was divine intervention that saved our son. It was divine intervention that brought Harvey to us, and his unwillingness and unwavering desire to stay connected and not give up on us, because he knew that we needed the product. I think my wife's perfect. I don't think she needs it, but she sure enjoys it. Me, I needed it. I was unhealthy. And I credit my ability to keep going each day and be able to be active with our kids and keep going to the health. We have been super fortunate. And I know this, that in the not too distant future, LifeVantage is going to release another product. You say, well, you got everything you need now. Well, they're looking at it. Okay, where is there a gap in our health? And they're going to come out with the next big thing. We are our own best customer. We got a LifeVantage cubby in our dining room where we keep our products, and we take our products every day. And I can honestly tell you, there will not be a day that we don't take our LifeVantage products. We may go without something else. We may go without creamer in our coffee, which is a must for us, but we're not going to go without our LifeVantage products. What questions do you have? We've kept you a little longer than what we had planned.